Hello, I'm Mr. Pleasant Books. For this book talk, we'll be discussing the first book in the Ember War saga, the Ember War. It's called that because a character in the book tells them that we're an ember of humanity, still burning bright. It's set in the future by about 50 years, maybe 60, give or take, because it starts about 10 years ago, I believe, and then it says in the book 60 years later, so I would put it 50 years ahead of right now. And it's just about how the world has advanced and tried to prepare itself for the coming alien apocalypse. There is a threat that's coming to our solar system that other aliens in the galaxy knew about, and so they tried to help us prepare, but not so much that we would just be decimated. And it's a really good story. I like the characters. I guess I kind of am a character driven reader, and I do like plot lines. And it has to be a good story. The characters can't be it, but whenever there's good characters, that always makes the story better for me. And this story is definitely about the characters. It does have a good plot line, but it is definitely about the characters and how they act and react and decide to deal with the fact that they are humanity and that they are fighting for their survival. Well, that's going to be it for the non-spoiler section. So from here forward, there'll be spoilers, letting you know. The Ember War. Ah, I really did like this book. I liked the humor in it. The character Stanish. I hope they keep him through the series because he was funny. He put as a soldier he's what you liked having in a unit. Just somebody who would say something to help ease attention all the time. Like Lieutenant Hale and Sergeant Quattaro, both excellent leaders. And they do their job. Lieutenant Hale is willing to take the risk, even if it means hurting himself or possibly dying, to keep his soldiers safe. But Stanish is the one who helps everybody kind of relax and take that step back from the adrenaline and the tension that are pumping you up right before you go into battle. So I hope they keep him throughout the series. And then there's Captain Valdar. I actually would like to meet Captain Valdar. I think he would be an interesting guy to meet, just in real life. And even though he is older than me and he is Navy rather than Army, which is what I was, though I guess in the future of space travel, it's just going to be everyone's going to be Navy or Marine, is what it sounds like from everyone's perspective. I really hope not, because I like the Army and I hope they keep that in the military's the future world. That is not just space marines hammering everything. I also learned the German phrase "Gott mit uns" from this book. It means God is with us. From an actual battlefield, the Breitenfeld, which is the name of the ship that Captain Valdar, Lieutenant Hale, and all of them are on, is a real battlefield that actually happened. And it got me interested in some new music as well. So that was all pretty neat. But it just "Gott mit uns." And they say it in the book. Even the people who are not religious, it's just that rallying cry, that phrase you can use to help everybody draw together as one and attack. And you have the space fighters that go out there, who when the Zorros do attack, those things, and they're so advanced compared to the rest of us. And it sounds like the rest of the galaxy even. And they shift form, they meld. They almost seem like robotic Play-Doh, or maybe the Terminator from Terminator 2, that melting metal guy. It's just they can mutate and take form to go from like about a 1 meter long oblong to a 15-foot high robot that can only be taken out by a railgun. Which railguns are serious weaponry, and they wipe out anything in their path basically, and they will punch a holes in planets. Railguns will. And and then on top of that, they mold themselves like into giant cannons that can put all their energy into a shot that'll take out an entire, blow a ship in half. Because that last battle is exciting to read about. And just where they're fighting the Zorros, trying to take over the Crucible, basically like a crown of thorns, is just an awesome story. Just an awesome battle to read. Just the excitement, the intelligence of the plan, the characters fighting. Stacy Ibarra, who Ibarra was who the probe met first, because he figured out graphene or graphite lattice work, I think it was, which was a step that the probe could use to push us to the advancement where we could create the spaceships and have space travel traveling to the different asteroids and the planets. And also where they were able to design an engine that locked them away in time. For 30 years, it locked them away so the Zaros could hit, wipe out everyone on the planet, and then leave, but this fleet of about 500,000 people would live. Hopefully the Zaros wouldn't notice them and they would live. So that they could come back, restart the process, but now they could use the advanced technology. It was no longer holding back. They can now take every step forward. And because they had, what was it called? They had quadrium, I think it's called. It's kind of a special metal or metal covering that they could put on their bullets and their rounds that takes out a Zaros basically. It hits the Zaro, shorts him out, so you can run up and just punch a hole through it with a bolt gun to kill it, which is nice because it doesn't sound like quadrium is a very common element in the galaxy. So it's nice that they have a stop and then smash. So it's neat that the author came up with that, which is Richard Fox. The author is Richard Fox. And this is also what actually made me want to read the story. Is I was reading some of the reviews, and there was veterans who have lost limbs, lost their leg or their arm, who'd been hurt, and they were leaving comments of it would be so cool to be the armor. That even though I'm hurt, whereas now I have to leave the military, in this world I could still help my brothers and sisters fight. I could still be a part of that and protect people because I could become armor. And it turns out armor is what they do with is armor is just basically a mech suit that's about 10 feet tall, that they take anyone who can handle the claustrophobia that goes into putting them in what they call the womb of the mech unit can still fight because it links to their brain. So even if you had your leg blown off, your arm blown off, your eyes destroyed, you could hook up to the mech unit and still keep fighting. That's what made me get the book. And the armor turned out to be really cool. The Elias character, he's very serious and very dedicated and very I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I don't really care what your orders are. I'm going to do what I think is right. And it's just really neat to see that this author, Richard Fox, kept everybody in. He didn't exclude anybody like you have in most stories. Or that they didn't have to get fancy prosthetics in order to be able to keep fighting, that they could become armor if they were mentally strong enough. And that's pretty cool. I like that, and that's what made me get the book. And so if you're looking for something like that, this is the book to go for, because it definitely has that. The armor does turn out to be pretty hardcore. So it's, bravo to the armor. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the book. They do take the Crucible, and they're able to travel now across the galaxy to visit the other aliens, the ones who sent the probe. Stacy Ibarra is the one who was kind of made by her uncle, like a synthetic human almost, to be able to travel. And her uncle is a dick. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, he may have saved humanity, but he's just a dick. Just, do not like the guy. And he's sarcastic, but he's still a dick. Don't like him. But yeah, that's the end of the book. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Mr. Pleasant Books. Oh, one thing I'm going to start doing at the end of my videos is letting you know that the next book I'm going to read is Helldivers by Nicholas Sansbury Smith. So if you aren't following me on social media, Helldivers Book 1 by Nicholas Sansbury Smith will be the next book talk that I do. So, alright, talk to you later.